Hey, how are you doing, Facebook fans? This is our little delayed, wacky Wednesday. But you know, what we wanted to talk about, we've been doing these interviews and talking about some of the history of Sweet Tooth. One of the things we were able to do in our third location, because we had some space, and it's something we were trying to do before, is have some little kid events. So we would pick a theme and have kids come in. Parents could come in also, and we'd have an activity or two, and people would dress up. Like here's one of them I remember was our Princess and Princesses, or Prince and Princesses, and people dressed up. The whole staff dressed up like princes or princesses, and people came in. We had themed favors, and I think there was a little game and a giveaway or something.
Yes, we took pictures.
Yeah, it was just kind of a fun thing that we could do, and for kids to go and do inside. So we had that. We had also our let me see what we got here. The dinosaur event, which was a lot of fun because actually kids have little dinosaur outfits. So they had that, but we also had this big
we call it a dump.
Yeah, the merchandise dump that we filled with sand, and then we put plastic dinosaurs in. Kids would go through the sand and try and get it in. That was by far the most popular thing we did in the dinosaurs. Oh, and we got dinosaur sounds that we played through the our sound system here, and it was fun, don't you think, Jen?
Yes, it was an archaeological dig.
Yes,
and of course everybody got favors as usual. They come into our store, they expect a little candy favor, and they all got a candy favor.
Yeah, another interesting one, before I let Janet do some, was a Peanuts. They had a new Peanuts movie came out, and it had to be 6 or 7 years ago now, I think.
Yes, like that. And Meghan Trainor wrote a special song for it, which became very popular.
That's right. Yeah, and so we had kids come in. Obviously, we had a big banner outside where people could stand in front and take pictures if they like. But we also would have Peanuts themed. We had the music and we had some favors. But there was this to promote the the movie. What they did was make a website where you could create your own Peanuts
character.
Yeah, put different things on them and put them in different scenes. And so we had little iPads around where we would show kids, to do it. We would actually do it for them, and they would tell us what they wanted to do, and then we printed them off, and they got to keep them. So that was a lot of fun. And people, you try and do one that looks just like you, and so that was fun. But I haven't been around little kids at that time in a long time, and I forgot that kids have no sense of personal space. They're just all they are so what can I say? So able to just sit next to you and watch what you're doing and put in suggestions that other kids would come up and do the same thing. So those kind of things are kind of fun.
They really did have a good time, and our daughter Sabrina helped out by interviewing each of the kids, and then ultimately putting the picture on the computer so they could see what they had created, and of course printing it off. So we love doing events in our store, and they were all free. We never charged anybody to come. We just wanted to have a fun day and publicize Sweet Tooth, of course, as well as having fun.
Yeah, and we can thank the newspapers always, the Tulsa World always ran something about our special events, and that's how a lot of people found out about it. So
now, Jeff, people may not know that you and to some extent I both have some theater background, and Sabrina, our daughter, definitely has a theater background from University of Tulsa, and also a master's from OSU in theater. And of course, when she was at Booker T. Washington, she was heavily involved in the theater department there, as were we. So these events let us create our own little theater inside of Sweet Tooth.
Give us some output there.
Now you want to hear something about Santa?
Here, I mean,
Okay.
Janice got it going with Santa. Okay.
All right.
We're good.
One of our ongoing events, which we had such a good time with, is when we met Santa Bob. We wanted to have Santa in our store, and we wanted to be able to invite people to come and have a free picture taken with Santa. So Santa Bob became our regular Santa, our important Santa. And tell you the truth, I know Jeff agrees, and everybody who met him agrees, he is the best Santa.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
He gets along with children. He knows how to talk to them. He's not afraid for them to sit on his lap, and they're not afraid of him either.
He looks the part too.
He looks the part year-round, actually.
Yeah.
He's what they call a real Santa because his beard is not fake. He's has a real beard and white hair, and in addition to that, he has a wonderful, loving wife who comes with him as Mrs. Claus and helps him to do his Santa thing with the kids. So we started Santa at our store at 38th and Harvard, and then we had Santa also here in our current location at 36th and Harvard. Of course, we had a big dilemma when COVID started because we couldn't really have Santa come and children sit on his lap, etc., etc. We couldn't do the same things that we had done before. But we found a way of introducing Santa to the kids. There were actually two ways. One is that Mrs. Claus and Santa wrote a book called, let me make sure I know, The Mountain of Mismatched Socks. The idea behind the book was that there weren't really naughty kids. The world is not filled with naughty kids. And when Santa would give them something, or when the elves would help him, they would collect socks, because as we all know, there's always a time when you put your socks in the dryer and out comes one sock without its mate. So this was fun. They signed the book, and they actually did a reading of it with Jeff on Zoom when we weren't able to have in-person Santa in our store. The second thing that we did, because Santa, as you know, in his workshop, he creates all kinds of toys for children. He's a wonderful carpenter. So he made himself a mailbox, and we put it in our store, and we had cards. And when kids would come in our store before Christmas, we would ask if they would like to write a note to Santa, what they would like for Christmas. And all of the kids really loved doing that. And they put their note in the mailbox, and before Christmas, Santa came and picked it up so that he would have a chance to look at it and make sure all the children got what they wanted.
Yes. And the other thing about Bob is, Santa Bob, was he made his own throne.
Yes. Oh, that's right.
I mean, that was amazing. And he sells plans to it all over the United States.
Yes. A lot of people contact him to see how they could have either him make a throne, which is very expensive to ship. So he provides them with the plans so they can create their own wherever their Santas are. And he's a member of the national, perhaps it's even international, Santa group, which is for real Santas who have real hair and real beard and not the stuff you can buy at the costume shop.
Right.
And one other thing we did when it was possible for people to come in at Christmas time is that we have two friends who are musicians. Guyanne Galoob, who is a flautist, and Scott McQuaid, who among other things plays the accordion. He also is a wonderful keyboard player as well. And we asked them to come into our store one Sunday and play Christmas carols for people while they were shopping. And they had a great time. They hadn't met each other before, so this is their first opportunity to work together. And it was a fun afternoon on a Sunday, which is usually a little slower, and we had shorter hours. Mm-hmm. So we tried very hard to have lots of fun events in our store that people could come to without charge, and just enjoy themselves and meet each other and talk. So events were a big deal for us, and we're going to miss them. Right, Jeff?
Right. Yeah, we will miss that.
Next time, we'll be talking about some other things that we've done, and we want you to know that we're keeping our Facebook and our email open even after we close, so that we can forward information to you about other vendors and places where you can go in Tulsa to get things that we sold at Sweet Tooth. So, bye-bye.
See you later. Bye.